In other news, experts and stakeholders have called for the urgent implementation of laws and regulations that protect and promote the inclusion of survivors of conflict-related sexual violence and persons living with disabilities, particularly women across Nigeria's northeast region. Now, the call was made during a high-level policy dialogue convened to chart a sustainable path towards improved livelihoods for survivors. Jesse Daniel has more.
For over a decade, Nigeria have faced insecurity, with the northeast mostly affected, prompting sustained military effort to restore peace. As stability gradually returns, focus is shifting to the plight of survivors of conflict-related sexual violence and persons with disability, largely women, who are now calling for inclusion and equal opportunities. At this policy dialogue, stakeholders from security agencies, civil society organizations, policy circle examine challenges hindering the implementation of laws meant to protect and empower these vulnerable groups. Discussions focus on identifying critical gaps in policy enforcement while exploring practical solutions to ensure that survivors are not left behind in the recovery and rebuilding process.
We are hoping to see that the conflict-related survivors also have voice in the society, in the community, where their interest is being factored, and they are also being included in every leadership and decision making from the local government level to the state level. What we are doing today has already made an impact, where the government itself is also considering the inclusion of these women so that their voice can be heard.
So as a policy analyst that you've asked, mostly I will say that we have a lot of gaps, especially with relation to the in relation to the institutions that are supposed to be responsible to be the vanguard of implementing the policies that has to do with number one, conflict-related sexual violence survivors, and number two, people living with disabilities.
The program, an initiative of Grassroots Research Association with support from the French Embassy in Nigeria, underscores the growing need for collaboration across sectors. Participants emphasize that only through deliberate, coordinated action by government institutions, development partners, and civil society organizations can, through inclusion, gender equity, and equal participation in nation building, be achieved.
When survivors come out, even their family are no longer support them. They will help them, and we want government to help us find for us a place to live, food, and health.
As Nigeria rebuilds from years of conflict, stakeholders insist that true recovery can only be achieved when no survivor is left behind. J.C. Daniel, TVC News,